The evening sunshine bathing the sports pitches here at University College London in a golden light as you join myself and Sean Colfer for the Day 6 wrap-up here in the stands. We've got news of the semi-finals, Sean. Big semi-finals day today. And the water had gone. That was the key factor. Overnight it was warm, it was dry, there was a breeze this morning, the sunshine came out, a lot of the pitches had dried up. There's been more rain today, but the pitches have held up pretty well and we've been able to complete a lot of play.
Yeah, they seem to have been fine. There was obviously a couple of challenges with the pitches yesterday, but other than pitches 6B and 9B, I think they had 11 pitches working today and they all look good, considering the circumstances. So the ground staff and the volunteers have done a really good job with that.
Okay, so we'll start with the women's division. USA really demolished their opposition in that first semi-final.
It was 15-10. They beat Canada, but really it was never in doubt. There was never any doubt that the USA were going to win that game and go through to the final. You could argue that the Canadians give them the best test they've had so far, but even then, it wasn't close, and it looks very, very like this USA team won't be stopped.
So the USA will come up against Colombia. Colombia with a real upset.
Yeah, big upset.
Destroying the chances of the Japanese. They broke twice in the first 2 points. Japanese offense really not been able to settle, and they used some of their fast defenders to just take away the Japanese deep space.
Yep.
It was a very impressive performance from the Colombians. That game is on the live stream, the WFDF live stream website if you want to go and watch that game again. Myself doing the commentary.
There we go.
Pretty good commentary game as well.
Wonderful. Sure, it was wonderful.
In the mixed division then, again the USA having a relatively easy run of things.
Yeah, I mean they played France, who obviously upset GB yesterday in a pretty stunning victory, but they were just no match for the USA. The USA are a phenomenal team. They won 15-4, and as the scoreline would suggest, there was never any doubt that they were going to win that game again. So again, it's going to be difficult for anyone to stop them, but Australia look like a pretty good team.
Yes, and Australia were the victors of the other mixed semi-final. Again, that was on the live stream, again with me doing the commentary, and it was a great game to watch. It was a real upwind, downwind battle. All the teams scoring their own points straight down the wind, and then all of a sudden Australia came out, they broke Canada, they scored upwind, and then they broke Canada again to score the downwind follow-up. And that was really the end of the game. All the rest of the points, no matter how much both teams tried, they just couldn't get that score up the wind. So Australia running away with it by 3 in the end.
I think one thing about the mixed division, the United States have been exceptional the whole tournament so far, but if anyone looks like they can give them a game, it's Australia. They've got Tom Ragaki, really experienced player, can control the action from the back. They've got athletes like Danny Alexander who can take away the physical advantages that the USA enjoy over everyone else, and their mental strength seems to be very, very good. They've had close games against Japan and against Canada, two very strong teams, and they've come out on the right end on both times. So hopefully Australia can give the USA a bit of a test tomorrow and give the fans something to watch.
And I was talking to the Australia assistant coach there, or the coach's assistant, I think he described himself as.
Yes.
And he described the Australia mixed coach as being a headspace coach. It's about getting the players in the right space to play the best that they can play in this big tournament.
I actually spoke to Anna Ragaki before the tournament. My mixed team had a friendly against them where they demolished us, but I'm not too ashamed of that considering they're in the final of Worlds now. But she is a mental strength coach in her profession. That's what she does for a living, and that's definitely something she talked about, getting the team in the right kind of mental frame to go out and perform against the best teams in the world, and it seems like she's done a good job of that.
And then lastly, on this semi-final pitch, we've seen two really close games, really. The Japanese and Australians facing up first off, and then the USA and Canada.
So the Japanese and Australians had a pretty tight game, really, for the first half, certainly. The Australians were up 6-4. From there, the Japanese kind of ran away with it with an 11-3 run, but most of the game it was very, very tight, very contested. The Australian D putting a lot of pressure on the Japanese, but the Japanese just so good with the disc, so good with those little cuts, and killing with 1,000 cuts. They're really, really good, and it's going to be interesting to see that style match up against the Americans tomorrow.
And in the other one, USA dominating over Canada, winning really, really quite comfortably in the end. But it was great to see in front of the stadium the USA players put to a bit of a test, but still managed to deal with it. And a slippy surface out here after all the rain we've had as well.
I think one thing about that game is you look at Canada and you say if you want to bring together the best collection of athletes to challenge America, then Canada has that. But America is just so good with the disc, so chilly. Their break throws are incredible, their deep cuts are incredible, and their D was absolutely intense. I mean, they did get a Callahan after all. So Canada, listen, that's a very good team, but America kind of made child's play of it, really. They're a special group.
So the Allianz Stadium tomorrow. In the Open division, the USA are going to be playing against Japan. In the women's division, the USA are going to be playing against Colombia. And in the mixed division, the USA are going to be playing against Australia. And we can't wait for those finals. We'll do a wrap-up show for you tomorrow. Thanks very much for that, Sean. Now, one thing we've not talked about a lot is the guts division, and we've got a nice interview and a wrap up with Nob Rauch to follow this. Let's go and find that interview right about now. So I'm here with Josh Tews, the USA 1 guts captain. Josh, what a week you guys have had out here. Gold and spirit as well.
And spirit. It's truly amazing. We put a lot of hard work into it over the last 8 years. So much time dedicated to this sport, and it's been truly an amazing week. Really cool. Awesome stuff.
And you've played all the other teams a number of different times. I guess there's a real camaraderie builds between the competitors out there in the guts division.
Yeah, every guts game you play, you may be competing against one another, but after the game, it's truly a whole family. Everybody really loves each other. You know, you talk, you joke around. It's really an awesome experience to play guts.
And what was the tightest game you had this week? What was the biggest challenge you faced?
The biggest challenge was the finals. We knew that we had to get the work done. We played Japan. They won in 2012, and we really just had to get it done. We knew that if we played the way that we knew we could play, that we would get it done, and we did. So.
Okay, and just reflect on the part that Guts plays in this big tournament. We can see behind us the shirt swapping and the trade night that goes on here at the tournament, and that's the sort of atmosphere that feeds in, and Guts plays a big part in that as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've been told on several occasions that our jerseys are the best around the tournament, and we've traded for a few. All the different countries have come around and asked, hey, you got an extra set of the whole jerseys and shorts set, can you trade for ours? You know, they really like it. It's good memorabilia, you know, and it's just a great memory for the rest of our lives.
Okay, well done this week, Josh. Gold medal and spirit. Yes. I'm going to shake your hand. Well done.
Thank you.
And we're going to wander over here just briefly to talk to Nob Rauch, who's sitting in the grandstand, president of the World Flying Disc Federation. Nob.
And how are you, Tom?
I'm doing very well. Let me just grab that seat next to you. Okay. And it's been a challenging week for the team. We started in the beautiful sunshine of the opening ceremony, but we finished again under some slightly colder sunshine here on the semi-finals pitches before the big finals tomorrow. Just what has the week been from your perspective?
Well, you know, overall the tournament organizers were very prepared for an awful lot of things, but in the end, if you have a series of rainstorms where they say that in 1 hour they get as much rain as they get in a month, it's going to pose some really difficult challenges. And so for us, it was a matter of having to triage to make sure we could get the competition in, get through quarters, semis, so that we get to the finals day tomorrow. But the volunteer staff here has been amazing, and they really just did what it took to be able to get it all done for us. So we're really pleased about that. And you know, the fields are holding up reasonably well, but they were underwater a number of times over the course of the week, and so it did cause some difficulties along the way. But you know, we've managed to get through it.
The biggest national competition the WFDF have ever hosted here in London. 26 pitches, a lot of games, a lot of high-level competition. Just reflect on where this places the sport of guts and ultimate in the development of disc sports generally, in your view.
Well, you know, I'm really impressed by the quality of play. You know, about 12-15 years ago, the game had turned into a bit of a hug fest for ultimate. Guts was sort of disappearing, even in the U.S., the heartbed up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I think we've really seen a resurgence. We've seen a development of a lot of different countries. It's really amazing to be able to see a team from Egypt show up, a women's team from India. That kind of development of the sport is really gratifying, and it's really demonstrating that disc sports is still on the way up in a big way. On the gut side, you know, biggest event in a very long time, 8 different participants. We have 3 different medalists. Really fun to see that as well. And you know, this event 3,000 athletes, 115 teams, 39 countries. As you say, the biggest event we've ever had. It's really exciting, a bit of a logistical challenge. Certainly it's a little disappointing when we can't give all of the teams all of the consolation rounds that we really hoped to be able to give them, but when you only have a day before today with 2 pitches for a good part of the day and then 4 when you expect to have 26, 27 pitches, you have to do what you can.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Nob, for talking to us today. The semis have gone, the finals are tomorrow in the Allianz Stadium, a real spectacle, and that's going to be streamed all over the world. You're really looking forward to that media aspect. We've been able to do something with this Kickstarter project, and I don't know if you have a message for all the people that supported that project as well.
Oh gosh, it's we're really excited. I think we've streamed over 30 games this week despite the challenges. A few of them we didn't have the multi-camera setup that we have here on the showcase field, but we were able to at least get one camera out, be able to have professional commentary by people like yourself, which is really helpful. I think it's something that gets the sport out to those who can't be here at a place like London, to be able to really enjoy the quality of the play, the diversity of the play, and it's something that we really want to try to be able to build upon. For all those who contributed to the Kickstarter campaign, it's you who made this possible. It would not have happened without really getting over the top and getting that block of the funding that we needed. From my standpoint, the challenge is pretty basic. We need to raise some resources from outside sources. We are really going to be putting in a big push on the sponsorship side over the next year to try to see what we can do and build upon the success we had here, and be able to then plow that sponsorship money back into not only production of telecasts, but as well the events themselves, to try to make them better and better all the time. And so with that, it's really great. We're hoping this is the catalyst to be able to move on to the next levels.
So that's the end of our Day 6 wrap-up, the Daily Digest from here, pitchside from London. Tom Stiles and Nob Rauch bidding you a very good evening, and we'll be back tomorrow from the Allianz Stadium for our big finals wrap-up.
Cheers.